This segment of the news is brought to you by Journey to Recovery. Take the first step. Call 775-382-1072.
And a local is arrested for allegedly busting windows on a car and a bar. Curtis Riley was taken into custody by deputies over the weekend. According to Lieutenant David Borokowitz, 33-year-old Curtis Riley was arrested at approximately 2 a.m. after a 911 call was received in reference to somebody smashing out windows at the Hideaway Bar on Pahrump Valley Boulevard, just north of Mans Road. Deputies allegedly located Riley walking down the roadway shortly after the windows were smashed. Riley was smashing out the windows in the bar and also on a vehicle. He was also reportedly wearing a Nye County Sheriff's Office jacket and carrying a bat-like object. During the investigation, it was discovered that numerous windows had been smashed out, as well as a car window. According to police, when they were taking Riley into custody, he was resisting arrest. Riley has been charged with impersonating a public officer, destroying personal property, injuring or tampering with a motor vehicle, resisting a public officer, attempted burglary, and under the influence of a controlled substance. And billions of dollars are withdrawn from the stock market. Here's Angela Miles with more.
Topping our news, investors have pulled a record amount of money out of stock funds. The latest numbers reveal $23 billion was withdrawn. The turmoil in the stock market is pushing investors away from stock funds and into money market accounts and metals. However, analysts warn that getting out of the market now only locks in your losses. Another downer for Equifax. That stock took a dive on Friday on a Wall Street Journal report that the data breach from last summer is actually far worse than everybody thinks. The credit reporting agency admits that personal information for 145 million customers was compromised. The paper has learned the cyber thieves were able to access tax ID numbers, email addresses, and driver's license information. An upper is coming from NVIDIA. That stock rallied on word of strong earnings. Analysts are optimistic about the chip maker's growth opportunities in.
Thanks, Angela. And to find out more about the Equifax breach, you can go online to see if you were affected. Amazon employees are getting some pink slips. The majority of the layoffs are affecting the company's Seattle headquarters and some global teams. The affected departments are the more mature areas of the business, such as Amazon's online retail operations. They said they are making small reductions in some areas and hiring big time in others. Amazon currently has 3,900 open corporate job listings at their location in Seattle and 12,000 open positions worldwide. Amazon said it added 130,000 jobs in the past year, which doesn't include its $13.7 billion acquisition of Whole Foods. At the end of 2017, Amazon employed 560,000 people worldwide. Dr. Tom Waters tells us about a handbook that is invaluable to veterans and their loved ones.
This is a survivor's handbook, and we're asking all veterans to at least get a survivor's handbook and fill out the requirements that are in there. It's for your family so that when something happens to the veteran, they know what to do. The primary thing that I talk about in this is what to do when a veteran passes away. Many family members just don't know. What's the first step? What do you do right away? Who do you call? This handbook will give you all of that information. And I want to say, too, this handbook was put together by Chapter 730 of the Military Order of the Purple Heart over in Henderson. They're also the ones who recognized us and suggested us to be Pahrump to be a Purple Heart town and Nye to be a Purple Heart county.
Tell me some tips on what to do if a veteran passes away.
First thing to do is you want to call the service officer and find out, okay, what should I do? The one thing this handbook will provide to you, because the service officer is going to ask, do you have a copy of the DD Form 214? Mm-hmm. Do you have this? Do you have that? This handbook will tell you all the things you need to put together that the service officer is going to ask for.
That they're going to need for you to be able to have these benefits for the veteran. The DD 214, do a lot of people not have those?
A lot of people don't know that they have them. The military, the veterans know, but the family members may not know.
So how can they get them if they can't find them or if they don't have them in their hand?
That's why we're telling the veterans to do this now.
Yeah.
Get a copy of the handbook, put all that together. For my wife, I've put together everything that's asked for in this handbook. My DD Form 214, my retirement papers from the military, everything she's going to need to apply for anything. I also have for burial requests out in Boulder City. I also have that in mind.
So the veteran can get this going now. If you have a veteran that maybe needs some help with this and you're a family member, how can the family member contact other veterans to get some help?
Right now, they can pick up a copy of the handbook at the VA clinic, and we have a service officer that's usually there, and they can answer any questions that a family or veteran has.
Right there on Little Lane, right next to Desert View Hospital.
That's correct, at the new VA clinic.
All right. So if you need any help, if you have any questions, can they contact you or should they go right to the VA clinic?
I would say go to the VA clinic, but anytime they want to contact me, feel free to do so. And my number is 702-379-3449.
And they can pick up the Survivor's Handbook right there and then fill it out, find out what they need to do, and get some advice.
Absolutely. And I recommend every veteran fills this out because when something happens to the veteran, the family members are devastated right away. They're not looking to say, what do I do? If everything is already prepared, it makes it so much easier.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Tom. Well, after this break, we're talking TV.